Hey guys, how we doing? Donald Miller here. So, I want to help the helpers out here a little bit, all right? Because I do get emails and they talk about how they don't like where they're working and they apply for, they want an apprenticeship or they're looking for a mentor, okay? And there's not a lot of master electricians out there that can actually be a mentor, all right? And that's the condition of the trade that we're in today, okay? And I'm not talking about union, we're talking about non-union here. There's not a lot of master mechanics that you can really look up to. And what I mean by a master mechanic is a mechanic that is seasoned in what he's doing to the point where he got his license, okay? And he doesn't have to be self-employed. He can work for other companies, but these other companies aren't really paying them enough to be to be an employee, okay? Like a lot of times these companies are calling guys mechanics when they're not. They're not in any way, shape, or form. So then you have this younger generation going into these companies and they're given no guidance. They're thrown to these immature guys that think they're mechanics because they can sling wire a little bit and they can hack up a job and somehow make it work. And that's not what being a mechanic is. Mechanic's goal isn't to make it work. A mechanic's goal is to provide the best quality possible while making it work, okay? It's not just making it work. If you can make it work, that's scary, okay? Because a mechanic has confidence in everything he does through every single step, that he knows it's gonna work, okay? He doesn't, there's a big difference here, and I might not be describing it 100% correctly, but I'm more talking, so helpers, don't get discouraged because you're with one of these companies, okay? It's more important that you're getting up and you're doing electric every single day than it is having a mentor, okay? Having a mentor is important and you're gonna need it with the path you take. But it's as important is to wake up every morning and put a tool belt on, okay? Doing electric. Don't leave the electrical trade because you don't have a mentor, okay? Stick with the crappy companies, all right? And I say this because I didn't have a mentor for the first 2 years of my electrical education. Okay, the first 2 years I was in new construction the first year, all right, and there was some nice guys there, but I wouldn't call them mentors in any way, all right. And then the second year, I was finally thrown to, I got to experience a bunch of different types of mechanics, and then as I experienced these different mechanics, I found my mentor, and then I asked my mentor, and he said no. I'm going to tell you now, he said no for a while, all right? So, but those 2 years weren't wasteful. Those 2 years I spent, learning how to clean the van out, learning how to organize my tools, learning proper tool management. If you're a helper and you're looking for a mentor, there's a lot of things you can do before you meet your mentor. One is proper tools. Invest in some tools. Take care of your tools. Invest in a nice tool belt that's made for the line of work you want to go into, okay? There's a lot of groundwork you can be working on before you meet your mentor. Because your mentor has a right to say yes or no to you. And if you're a misfit that he's got to put together, a lot of times they'll just be like, no, I want someone that has a little bit of common sense, okay? So because there's so few of master electricians out there, the master electrician, really, it's his ball game. He gets to pick and choose who he wants to teach this trade to. So if you're looking for guidance in that manner, by all means, get your sleep habits down, okay? Get get your discipline for your job discipline down. What time you show up at the job, what's your stamina? Like, are you watching the clock at 3 o'clock to go home? Because this is the rest of your life. You shouldn't be looking at a clock. You should be looking at more work to do towards the end of the day, not wanting to go home. All right, so don't just tell people you're interested in this trade. You have to be to the core interested in this trade. All right, so you can work on your sleep habits, you can work on your eating habits, you can work on van discipline, tool management. There's so many things that you can focus on in the beginning of your trade. It shouldn't matter if you're working for one of these junk companies, okay? And if you are working for one of these junk companies and you're installing outlets, okay, well, focus on every little nick in the wire that you're putting in the wire. Because you're new, you got to be nicking those wires up because you don't know how to properly strip wires yet. Focus on that. In new construction, I installed thousands of outlets before I went anywhere. You're going to install thousands more. So you want your muscle memory, you want that practice. All right, so if you're working for these companies, you're not going down a bad road, okay? Because you already know you want a mentor, you already know you want higher education, okay? So just make use of the time until you find the person you want to train you further in the trade. Make use of every single day in this trade. Do not leave the trade. If you leave the trade, and you think you're going to wait for a mentor to happen, you're not going to find a job, okay? If you're in this trade, put your time in, okay? Every day, be 15 minutes early, okay? If you're pushing a broom, then broom the best way you can to the point where they'll give you something else to do, all right? So there's ways that you can stay with a bad company until a position is available for you, all right? And that's my number one recommendation, is to learn how to stay with a big company and find enjoyment out of it. Find something that is fulfilling in that big company. It doesn't matter if you're learning home runs or jumpers or stapling wires. Like, it takes a while to learn how to properly put a staple in a wire. Most of the time people put them too tight. The trick that I was taught was, I'm going to do this right here. There's your fingernail. There's the pink of it. When your nail goes white, that is the proper tension that you should, the proper pressure on the Romex you should have when you're using a staple. And that's it. Nothing more than that. Just turning your nail white. So if you put your finger under that staple, you should be able to hammer it down to the point where your nail turns white, and that's the proper staple pressure, all right? So it's little things like that. Wire management, learning how to run wire, learning how to walk the wire out. There's thousands of things that you don't need a mentor yet for, okay? A mentor is more for when you get into the skilled aspect of electric. After you learned all the basics and you know all the easy stuff, a mentor he's there to help you break down a house or help troubleshoot, which, like, certain people troubleshoot and they'll take 4 hours to fix a problem, where a properly trained mechanic will only take about 3 minutes. He can eye it up, he knows what to look for, he knows exactly where it's at, or he has an idea, and boom. All right, and that's why you need a mentor. A mentor they teach you how to grasp the trade even further, and how to apply it in your life, okay? How to set your life up correctly. So in the beginning, you should be learning the basic fundamentals, maybe some theory, okay? And you don't need a mentor to learn theory. Like, I don't think Fuzzy taught me anything about theory. Like, he might have quizzed me a little bit, but he just wanted to make sure I knew what the hell I was doing, was the reason why he quizzed me. If I got the questions wrong, he would have probably would have thought I was dumber than a box of rocks. But that's my advice to the guys that are out there right now, and that they're frustrated because they're with a company they don't see a future with. you know, it's still an educated, it's still part of your education. Okay, you can still get some type of value out of it. So stick with it. God bless. Take care. Thank you.